Hello all, in this video I'll be knocking myself up a bench, a more solid joinery and assembly table than the lightweight portable site tables you normally see me use. It's no statement bench or labour of love like some of the exotic hardwood Rubo benches on YouTube, just something MFT sized, more functional for my needs and space, and built from leftovers from jobs. A fit station to work from at home, partnering my table saw and router table, hopefully sharing a few ideas along the way with others who like me might be tight on space. After cutting some 3x2 legs, I'm passing some 2x2 for stretchers through the table saw on two sides to make it uniform and a bit better behaved than its former life as a that'll do construction timber. Here I'm cutting some slight shoulders for the stretchers to bear against, housing joints if you like. These are open topped, nothing too fancy. Lower down, the legs get the same side housing treatment. I'm using the little kerf maker tool here. Such a great little tool if you're doing multiples of such cuts. One set gives you each shoulder cut of the housing, leaving you to just remove the remaining material in between. I did a review of this widget including setup a while ago. I'll make sure the video pops up at the end for anyone interested. For assembly, it's just glue and screws. Simple box stretcher / apron around the legs, which will not only give me a little leg up footrest for giving it the old Commander Riker pose in moments of contemplation, but up above a useful overhang for clamping. So although this will be replacing my mobile site tables at home, I still want it movable. As with the table saw, I'm fitting these kick down casters. These ones happen to be from Rutland's. A great option for benches if you want it planted to the ground when in use, but the ability to get it up on wheels to move and clean. Point of note, I moaned for about 10 minutes about caster makers insisting on making them requiring a flat spanner, which I was sure I had but couldn't find, to the point I fashioned my own tool for the job. Only to find by the time I pulled the last caster out of the box that 2 flat spanners are supplied with the kit. Still, couple of plucker ducks in the swear jar later, ready to roll. A couple more housings get cut at the bandsaw for some central supports. As I put the support in place, you can see I've already added a slightly off-centre cross member. Off-centre because the MFT top has a row of holes down the centre line. This keeps them clear while also helping to cut down or hopefully eliminate any sag of the top over time. The bench top is going to have a hardwood edging around the perimeter to tie it together as much as protect the MFT and softwood. In this case, mahogany. Might appear sacrilege, but this is hung around, salvaged from an old job for many years in too many climates and conditions. The panel was all types of cupped, crooked and twisted. So much tension released when ripped. This is a good use for it and I won't cherish it any less. So I'd heard about these bits but never got round to trying one out. It's a cheap lock mitre bit. As good an opportunity as any to give it a whirl I think. This one's got about a 15mm depth. For each joint you cut one mitre horizontal, the other vertical. I found the result pretty good. Certainly a good way to increase contact area on glued mitres. The outside and inside edge were nice and crisp, but I don't know if it was the cheap bit or what, but despite a fair bit of fertling with the setup and test pieces, I couldn't get rid of the slight hole on the inside tongue and groove. Each side too. If anyone knows why I might be getting that, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, it does make a crisp mitre joint. But the little hole's not really an issue here, this being a workbench. The edging gets glued and pinned in place. Then a round over above and below. One end of the bench I fit a piece of 40/40 profile I've had hanging around. The stuff you may have seen me use in other vids. This has the 8mm slot, so will accept the MFT Style guardrail clamps. This will open up some clamping options, which I'll show towards the end. The M8 fixing bolt meant there was next to no material left once cut away for the slots, so in the end I made an alley bracket for this side. So one of my old portable benches had a router plate in it. It didn't actually get used that much when out and about, and with the new router table at home, I've cut the usable pieces of it to attach to one of the bench ends. This will give me some dog storage and function as a sort of fixed dead man, as we'll see later. These cove cutters are 10 a penny. They come as standard in most router bit sets. I don't use them a lot, but they're great for cutting little recesses for finger pulls on drawer fronts. Not as refined a cutaway as an Avolo scribe cutter say, but a perfectly functional and cheap little cut nonetheless. Just set a couple of stops on the fence for your given width. With the ungainly manoeuvring of the sheet onto the bench edited out, time for a bit of panel cutting. I'm not giving the bench a full skin, just some side panels to fix drawer runners, a top shelf for the side panels to throw tools and accessories under the bench top, and some drawer bottoms, all 12mm ply. They're all just screwed in place, no glue. Every possibility that what's stored under the bench and how could change in the future, so I didn't want to commit too much. Didn't film fixing the runners, just got on with it, but they're pretty standard push to open affairs where you fix the little quick release mech to the front of the drawer base, with the drawer effectively just resting on the runner. There's a little hook on the runner that slots in a hole on the back of the drawer, or notch in my case, to stop it lifting. This sheet for the shelf isn't the full depth of the bench. I want space at the back for clamp storage. Makes it easy to slot in place as a bonus too. At the bench front, I'm giving all the ply some lipping in the leftover mahogany. Same with the drawer fronts. So the drawers work alright, but the runners are 450. They have about 100mm loss, which leaves just enough for the systainer lids to stay open. 500s would probably be a better bet in that respect, but I got a good deal on a bunch of these, so they'll do. As mentioned, round the back I've fitted a couple of bits of timber to hang some of my clamps off. I gave the top edge a bevel to catch the clamps nicely. Although the bench will be backed up to my table saw for the most part, it has an open alley profile frame, so I can just reach through and grab clamps. I rent this garage I'm in, and I'm not really supposed to be drilling holes to wall mount stuff like this. Hasn't stopped me drilling a few of course, but I'm trying to keep it to a minimum. The underside slot of the profile gives me convenient storage for the guardrail clamps. Below that is where I'm fixing the remnants from the old bench top. There's still room for storage here, and especially the other end of the bench. I haven't decided for what yet though. Thinking maybe a tall wall type affair, the other end for squares and whatnot. Router bits maybe, just don't know yet. What's best will reveal itself after a bit of use I think. Whatever gets thrown most on the shelf above the drawers I imagine. The hardwood gets a coat of Osmo for a bit of protection as well as making it pop a bit. Then it's just fixed the new MFT top down and it's pretty much ready for work. I wouldn't say finished as I'm still pondering some tweaks and additions. It partners really well with the table saw, and it's just nice to finally have something sturdy to work on at home. Before I go, I'll just show you some of the clamping options it gives me. At the profile end, a couple of long dogs, guide rail dogs in this case, can be used to support material end on. Then I can use clamps in the profile to hold it in place. The overhang all around the bench top also gives me more scope to clamp. As does the top slot in the profile, as well as all the usual clamping options provided by the holes. So that'll wrap it up, I think. Hope I didn't waffle on too much. Comments, thoughts or questions, welcome below as always. And thanks for watching.